All right, what's going on, guys? I'm doing a whole nother batch of books. So I thought I'd come on live and kind of multitask instead of just sit down and, do the books and just do the books. As you can see here, oh goodness. Whole bunch of these have to go out. I've already sent out about 60 of them. The post office is closed today. I'm going to try and do another. Within 7 days, I probably have to send out about 200 more. So it's going to be a lot of work, but I love it. And I really appreciate you guys buying the books. Just remember, the pre-orders of the books being sold started about 6 weeks ago. And just for the people emailing me now and saying, where is the book? It hasn't come yet. Just remember, as if I have to say it, it's pretty clearly said those are just pre-orders. So pre-orders, right? You'd have to wait until it gets shipped. So I'm shipping them at the moment. They started being shipped out about 3 days ago, and it probably should take about 3 weeks to get to you where you are. Remember, I'm in Bangkok, so if you're in Australia, it should be pretty quick. New Zealand, pretty quick. If you're in places like America and Europe, it's probably going to take a little bit longer, but it will get to you. So don't worry about that. I guarantee you it's worth the wait. You're going to love it. And again, I really, really appreciate everybody who bought a copy. I really appreciate it. You're going to love it so much. So, I'm going to get to doing this. If anybody has any questions at all, I've got this nice phone here mounted on my computer. So if anyone has any questions, just go ahead and ask. I'm going to be doing this. Guys, this is a time for you guys to ask me any questions you want. Remember, I'm not always that accessible. I'm not always that easy to reach simply because of the busyness of my schedule. So if you do have a question, now I'm giving you a great opportunity to ask. You can not only, sometimes I answer questions over text, and that's always good, but this is a better way to get it answered. Do you have an Arabic translation? Yes, I do actually. If you want to get the course light, if you want to buy the light course, which is $97, you can buy that and then send me an email, and I've completely translated the whole thing into Arabic. Subtitles, and also the subtitles and the audio has been translated. I used a software called Maestro, and it translated the whole thing. It's pretty cool. Hey, can we buy just the book, and what's the price? It's only really available for people within Triumph over Tinnitus 3 now, because it's included in the course update. Maybe in the future you might be able to get it just by itself, but not at the moment. Honestly, my advice would just be to get Triumph over Tinnitus 3. I mean, it's only $300, but then you have to buy, if you want to get the book as well, that's an additional cost. But it's worth it because you're getting literally the best course on the planet for tinnitus. And you don't have to wait for a doctor's appointment. You don't have to get surgery. You don't have to get fucked around by a doctor who's just going to give you a useless audiogram anyway, and then say, there's nothing you can do. Maybe you should try a sleep medication. Maybe you should try an antidepressant. Maybe you should take it. Let's give you amitriptyline to sleep. Let's give you Lexapro so you can deal with it during the day. Let's get you on a habituation program. Let's get you some talk therapy so you can relive this trauma and make it so much worse. I know people have their own opinions about talk therapy, but I think it's a fucking joke. For tinnitus anyway, obviously not for other things, I guess it would help. But, even I remember reading a book about PTSD. And there was this lady who was talking about war veterans with PTSD and saying how talk therapy was shit. And things like dietary change, lifestyle change, socializing, and things like ayahuasca were much better. And talk therapy was basically, I don't really know many people who've done talk therapy and been like, oh my God, that changed my life. I guess I have friends, from high school who've become drug addicts, because we all know people like that. And, they went to talk therapy and oh, it's really, really good. And then they're just back in rehab, fucking 3 weeks later or something. So it's just, I don't know about that, honestly. I'm sure there's going to be some therapists who are going to chew me out, but I've met therapists and, they're no different to anyone else. And usually their lives are pretty much a disaster as well. Okay. Is the book available and how is the shipping to Europe? So the book's $37 US and shipping anywhere is just $20. So it's $57 US in total. That's the cost. Is it available to send to Indonesia? Yeah, I've sent many copies to Indonesia, a couple to Thailand locally, Malaysia. I've sent a few to actually. There seems to be a lot of people in goodness me, what's the capital of Jakarta? Jakarta, Indonesia. Seems to be a lot of people who want it from there, so that's cool. So very cool stuff. So yeah, I would just, if you want to get the book and you're not in Triumph Over Tinnitus 3, just get the book. If you want to get the book and you're not in Triumph Over Tinnitus 3, just get Triumph Over Tinnitus 3. I mean, it's literally the best course there is. There's nothing better. It'll teach you everything you need to know about tinnitus. And you also, if you get it now, you get the free upgrade to silence for free, which is a $1,000 course. So it's pretty much a win-win. Is stretching recommended as cardio? What's the other alternative? Yeah, stretching is fine. Muscle release is better. And cardio, high intensity interval training is my suggestion, but yeah, it's fine. Sorry, can you send me an offer for that or link, please? Yeah, so I can't do it now because I'm doing the live stream, but if you could just send me a DM and remind me, I'll send it to you after this. Oh, I'm kind of going through the questions here. Where am I? Okay. Hi, Liam. How to deal with pressure and mold? Dentist says it's because TMJ problem. Can tinnitus from TMJ problems be fixed also? The pressure used to be okay, but now it's worse. Can I take a plane? Okay, a couple of questions there. So how to deal with pressure and mold? Well, do you have ear pressure? Is that what you're saying? Or you're saying you want to get a flight and you're worried about the cabin pressure? To deal with mold, well, I've spoken about this before, but just, extra sunlight. You can take vitamin D if you want to. You can do an inhalation of thyme, basil, coriander, rosehip, the usual sort of things I talk about. Avoid carbohydrates, avoid coffee, because pretty much most coffees have mold the way they store it. Most nuts, legumes, seeds, like pistachio nuts, macadamia nuts, they often have mold in them. Like Starbucks coffee. There's a guy who's really interesting on TikTok. I don't have TikTok, but I see him on Instagram. And what he does is he goes and gets products. Like he'll go swab like a subway station handle. He'll go to like a makeup store and swab the lipstick. And then he'll go put it in a petri dish and leave it and see what it grows, like what kind of bacteria, what kind of viruses, what kind of mold it has. And he did Starbucks coffee and it was like one of the worst things ever. It just turned into like this black mold shit because it's such a big company, and when, big companies go public, then shareholders get involved and they go, the bottom line is the only thing that matters. Like this is a company that there was a Starbucks, I think it was a group of Starbucks stores in like San Francisco or something. They tried to unionize because they were getting fucked by their bosses. And this Starbucks stores, as retaliation and as a disciplinary act, took away the capacity for them to get tips on the app. So the Starbucks employees stopped getting tips. So you think they don't even give a shit about their employees. Why would you think they give two fucks about you? So this moldy Starbucks coffee, which is probably full of all fucking who God knows what to save money, is just one of the worst things in the world. And I've tried it. Like I tried it a couple of times when I was living in Chiang Mai ages ago, and it tastes like barbecued microwave camel piss. It's fucking gross. So I don't know why anyone would want to drink that anyway. So yeah. So if you have TMJ, one of the best things to do in my opinion, unless it's really severe, is to cut out oxalate from your diet. I know it sounds like it doesn't relate in any case, but I guarantee you it does. The amount of people that I've spoken to who've gotten rid of their TMJ within they had TMJ for 5 years and they got rid of it within 5 weeks by cutting out oxalate-rich foods. You can get a flight if you want to, it's fine. Is tooth pain, here's a good question, does tooth pain have anything to do with tinnitus? yes, if you have an infection, it definitely has a lot to do with tinnitus. Your teeth are living organisms. They have pumps, they need nutrients, they need minerals. There are microtubules in the teeth, which is kind of like little highways that pathogens can go through. And if you have a residual infection that your immune system cannot reach and neutralize, it's going to be releasing pathogenic bacteria into your body the entire time. It's going to go straight to your nervous system, into your brain. And that's where your auditory region lives. Hey Liam, what helps best with hyperacusis in the course? Yeah, so look, it's going to be exactly the same thing. You know, hyperacusis, pulsatile tinnitus, vertigo, Meniere's disease, visual snow, and in most cases hearing loss are all beaten exactly the same way within the course. You just do the course. There is no specific thing that I tell people to do dependent upon, you know, what symptom they have. I guess there's kind of like, there's exceptions to that. Like for example, if you had pulsatile tinnitus, I'd probably tell you to ground more to improve your blood flow and your blood pressure, because pulsatile tinnitus, because pulsatile tinnitus, in my opinion, has a lot to do with blood flow. So there's that. So it's just the same. There's no different. What else do we have? Okay. At the beginning of the diet, I was constipated. Now I've gone the other way. Okay, so you had constipation, now you have diarrhea. I need to know a little bit more information about what you're doing. So I need to know what you changed, how quickly you changed it, what supplements you started or stopped taking, if you started doing more or less exercise. I need just a little bit more information, please. What's your recommendation on how to eat when you're breaking an intermittent fast? It doesn't matter. If it's an intermittent fast, it doesn't matter. I mean, just don't stuff yourself and make yourself sick so that you puke. But other than that, I really don't think that it makes that much of a difference. But if you want me to tell you, I just have scrambled eggs and probably baking soda. That's about it. But yeah, last time we did this live stream, it was great. We had some really good stories. You know, everyone's motivating each other. It's really good. I love seeing it. I love seeing people share their stories and give hope. Because I've spoken about this before, but the main thing that we do, or the main thing that I do rather, with your guys' help, is to spread hope. So I really appreciate that. Due to extreme weather, cold shower is impossible. Is lukewarm water shower is okay? I mean, with these questions, you kind of have to, I think that you can figure this out for yourself. I mean, it's not like the shower only has two settings. The shower doesn't go the coldest possible or the hottest possible. You know what I mean? Like, oh, you're saying it's hot? Are you saying the outside is hot or it's too cold? If it's too hot, I'm the same. My shower doesn't go cold shower. It's too hot here in Bangkok. Yeah, if you can't do a cold shower, you can't do a cold shower. I mean, and if it's lukewarm, I mean, there's probably not even any point doing that. It's not going to do anything. It's just going to be like, you know, lukewarm shower. So don't even bother. Let me know if that's what you mean. They actually said it is a bit severe, the temporal mandibular joint problem. Okay, well, what did they say about it that was severe exactly? Guys, feel free to, if you have a question, you can write me like a paragraph on here if you want, because the more information I have, the easier it is. And I'm just sitting here filling out, you know, packages for books anyway, so it's not like I'm in a rush to go anywhere or do anything. So if you guys have like a question or you want to tell me something about your situation, if you just tell me like one sentence, it's very difficult for me to really accurately get a good picture of you specifically and what's going on with you. And it needs to be, if you want to get the most accurate answer that specifically pertains to your situation with the highest probability that I'm going to give you actually helpful advice, I need more than 20 words. I mean, don't write me a fucking dictionary, or, you know, but I need a little bit more than, they said it's really bad, crying face. I mean, I don't really know what to do with that. So just a little bit more information, please. Would be great for both of us. I can help you, you can get help. Everybody wins. Everybody's a winner. Step right up. Oh, fruit. What have I done? Bangkok. But yeah, how's everyone doing? How's everyone's tinnitus? Hope it's doing well. Okay, can you please give a brief about the book that's coming out? Sure, mate. So this is it. Silence by Liam Boehm. That's the guy who looks very much like me. Okay, I'll read you the blurb. Okay. Tinnitus is not for life. Your ENT is wrong. Tinnitus is not for life. The secret techniques in this book do not involve surgery, habituation, medication, or almost any risk at all. Sounds good. What is in this book is what took Liam Boehm from near suicide, true suicide and addicted to drugs and alcohol, to complete silence within 6 months' time. After silencing his tinnitus and hyperacusis of 4 years, that's how long I had it for, Liam then went on to share his secrets with the world, and to this day still has the most cases of 100% silence compared to any other tinnitus treatment, with more cases of 100% silence being added all the time. This is all factual. Regardless of how a person contracts tinnitus, pulse-style tinnitus, hyperacusis, vertigo, hearing loss, or visual snow, the answers they need are in the pages of this book. And it's 199 pages, by the way. It's pretty solid. It also does not matter how severe the symptoms are or how long they have existed or what has already been tried. What matters is that tinnitus can end, and it can end quickly. And I'll read you the chapters. As in, what's a chapter? Okay. You ready? Part 1, Introduction. Preface, the great unknown, your mentality underpins your silence, the false safety net, my story of silence. That's part 1. Part 2, the current incorrect model of tinnitus, how the ear functions, the ENT, does science equal silence, and tinnitus drug trials. Okay. Part 3, understanding tinnitus and its causes, the mitochondrion, dental issues, plants are not food, but they are medicine, non-native EMF, the parasympathetic and sympathetic nervous systems, the thyroid gland, exercise, neck and posture, dry fasting, mold, viruses, gallstones, grounding, parasites. And the final section, part 4, the domino theory, which is what this is all based around. Forming a hypothesis, step-by-step guide to silence, reversing the causes, what to eat to get silence, what does progress look like, the different forms of silence, and in that chapter I basically say everything except complete silence is bullshit. Getting from 1 to 0, the siren's silent song, keeping silence, habituation as a long-term strategy is a mistake, and finally, the end. That's everything in this book. If you want to get silence, just get Triumph Over Tinnitus and get this book. There's no point fucking around. Just get it. Okay. That's 5 years worth of work and research and success that's in that book, by the way. And it's $57. Just popping in for 10 minutes. Hey, John, what's up? Not too much longer at work. What's up? Good morning, Liam. Good morning, my man. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Will this live be available on your Instagram? Yeah, all the lives are going to be saved. Don't worry. We can watch the replays on all of them. I saved them all. No problemo, amigo. Skazia, ska problem, blah. That's Albanian. Who's next? What have I done? Fuck. I get so distracted. Sometimes it goes down to the very bottom and I have to go up to the top again. So if I missed your question, I'm sorry. If I missed anyone's question, just send me a direct message, I guess. Please put all your videos on YouTube. Yeah, I think I'll put this live on YouTube. People need to see it. I think that, it's very funny. I can remember doing this 5 years ago when I very first started. I remember it very well. And, I started posting on Tinnitus Talk, and I started posting on forums, and, I don't even think there was a single, back then there wasn't really any tinnitus Instagram pages ever. There wasn't anything, there were scams, like tinnitus supplements and ear sprays and fucking whatever. But there was nothing like we're doing now. And I can remember posting and saying, guys, I did it. I ate these foods and I dry fasted and it's amazing. And everyone was like, fuck you. You're not a doctor. What do you know? It's all false hope and blah, blah, blah. And I mean, look at it now. Most testimonials in the world. One of the most well-known people in the industry. I mean, it's amazing. It's really, really cool to see the amazing results that I'm getting for people, and the lovely emails and letters people send me. And I think that this book is going to be really cool for you guys to keep. And a couple of people are buying multiple copies of the book. That's fine, I guess, to give to a friend. I guess if you're in Triumph Over Tinnitus 3, that's fine. Why does the back of my neck crack and feel sensitive each time I turn it? This sounds like something to talk to an osteopath about, to be honest. MRI came out clean, but I got told I have functional neurological disorder, i.e. my brain is paying attention to tinnitus. Oh yeah, that's like, I don't know about that whole thing. Like, people say, you have to get the nervous, everyone has tinnitus and, you can only hear it because your nervous system is tuned into it. I don't buy that at all, because my tinnitus was so loud, it felt like someone had a drill in my head. And it's like, really, you're going to tell me that's always been there and I just wasn't tuned into it? Bullshit. That's fucking bullshit. So I don't buy that at all. It's just some things, just for me, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, looks like a duck, it's probably an ENT talking shit. That's kind of how I see it. Yeah. Anyway, I had to order a lot more books, which I'm very happy about, because it's amazing. The demand for these books is huge. So thank you very much. And that's just the people inside Triumph Over Tinnitus 3. So I'm very, very grateful for that. I really appreciate that. And I'm sure you're going to love it. And I promise I'm doing my absolute best to get all the pre-orders out now that we're shipping it. It's very exciting. I'm going to get stickers made for this packaging, because otherwise it's going to take too long. Who we got next? I started with selenium iodine true drops today, Spanish black radish, yeast clean. I'm taking just one meat. Just meat. Yeah, maybe you just started eating only meat too quickly. And most people don't need to eat just meat. I see a lot of people doing that, and you really don't need to do that. Most people do absolutely fine with just increasing the meat in their diet and decreasing the carbs. Generally the best thing to do. Yes, extreme hot weather like Bangkok. Yeah. In that case, don't even worry about it. Best points. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot in Bangkok. Like the heat coming off the sun is wild. Best posture to sleep, or a posture that can worsen tinnitus? Good question. I just sleep on my side. I mean, you probably have to talk to someone in functional patterns for that, but as long as you're sleeping with your mouth closed and on your side and not in a Wi-Fi rich room and there's no mold in your room, you're probably good to go. I have heart palpitation and pain in the left side of my chest with tinnitus. I'd probably go get an EKG and speak to a cardiologist if you have pain there, because that's where your heart is here. Your heart's covers over a little bit of the center, and then on the left side here, it's right here. So go and see a cardiologist. I'm getting more obsessed with the gym than I am with the tinnitus now. Nice. It's not terrible at all. How about somatic tinnitus? I have somatic tinnitus. Okay, keep going. Someone says, why can't I get an answer on here? Look, if I missed your questions, I apologize, but there's no need to yell. Just please post a question and I promise I'll try and get to it. Yeah, I'm doing my best. Hot showers helpful, as I'm getting cold shower every day. It's not possible. It's extremely hot in India. Yeah, again, if you can't do a cold shower, you can't do it. I mean, India is probably the same weather as Bangkok. It's probably even hotter in India, and I know you have a pollution problem too, so that's probably not great. Why is high intensity better for tinnitus? Your thoughts on sound generators? Well, it's, high intensity compared to what? So if you're doing, like, let's say, long distance running or long distance swimming, you're going to wear out your nervous system and you're going to eventually cause a bit of problems in your hormones. This is something that Bart Kay has spoken about a lot, and it's the difference between, forgive me if I get this wrong, but aerobic and anaerobic exercise. And I think anaerobic exercise is the high intensity interval training one. It's much better for your muscle growth. It's much better for your heart, much better for every organ in your body. But he's the expert on that. I've just found that when people do like long distance cycling or swimming or running, it's not always the best for their health. And especially if you're a man, it can cause a decrease in your testosterone. So that's something to think about. Women too, women need testosterone as well, not just men. And just like men need estrogen. I mean, your bones are made from estrogen. So, for men and women. Shit. But yeah, if you've got a question, guys, I apologize if I miss it. Please just ask it again. I promise I'm doing my best. Please, everyone, support Liam and buy this book. Thank you very much. Do you believe in healing crisis during a long fast when symptoms get better before getting worse? I'm on day 6 of a water fast. Wow, that's long. And I have sinusitis symptoms getting worse, which I had some before. Could be. I'm not a really huge fan or proponent of water fasting. I much prefer the dry fasting. But yeah, if it's okay and your doctor gave you permission and you're doing it, just make sure you don't do too long and take it easy, and break it if you get any back pain, because that's your kidneys. But yeah, if you're sneezing out anything, it might even be worth you doing an inhalation while you're doing the fast and maybe cleaning out your sinuses if you can do that. You are a prophet for health. Thank you very much. That's very nice. Protect this man from pharmaceutical companies. I have DM'd you, but no reply. Well, I mean, I'm reading your messages now, so you can comment now if you like, and I'll do my best to answer it. Remember, guys, just one guy here, doing my best to help, thousands and thousands of people. So if I don't always get to your questions in a timely manner, or I miss them, just remember, it's not like I am intentionally missing it. I do have a lot of things to do in order to help as many people as possible, so I do apologize, but it is what it is. Just ask me now, I'm live now, you're here now. Love to help. Oops. Okay. Thanks for saving this live video. Can't wait to watch it in the evening. I can't wait for you to watch it either. Thank you. I have a displaced disc. Every time I chew ear, I hear a click in my ear. I mean, jaw bones colliding. If I yawn, my jaw drops. Did they say surgery or something was the way to go? What did they say? Still, I would cut out oxalates. I mean, it can't hurt. Now I'm eating more meat. I feel I'm doing more effort to chew and the pressure is going up. Concerned about the pressure and fullness because I can't hear properly due to this. Due to the TMJ joints. Sir, yoga his health to tinnitus. I'm not really sure what that means, but okay. Will your book be available for everyone, or will it just be for TOT members? At the moment, it's just for TOT members, but maybe sometime in the future I'll sell it individually. But it really is, it's called Silence, and that's also the name of the course update. So, it links in with the course, like for example, it's interactive. So, you're supposed to go through and pick out all your dominoes, and it shows you how to do that. And then once you have them, you write them down. You write down all the causes in the past that you did that are still having a problem and the causes that you're doing today. And then you go through and, it just goes through every single course that I've ever heard of and seen that causes tinnitus and how to reverse it. It just goes through every single thing. It shows you how I teach people how to reverse it. So it's just like do this, and do it in this order and slowly. Well, that's it. I've developed tinnitus with braces treatment. Could I treat my tinnitus now, or should I need another braces to repair my newly straightened teeth? I'm so confused on what to do. So do you still have the braces on, or have the braces come off and that's it? There's no more. You have straight teeth and there's no more braces. What exactly is the situation with that? Let me know. Okay, who's next? Okay, here we go. My tinnitus is really loud, non-stop. Had 4 MRIs, nothing wrong. It's half my head that feels heavy, like a nerve shooting up half my head. Yeah, I've never ever had a client out of all my years doing this who had an MRI and had the doctor go, yep, that's it. Because what they're looking for is a tumor, or they're looking for like a laceration, which I've never fucking seen any of my clients ever find anything that bad or remotely like it. I'm not saying don't get them, because, if your doctor says, I think you might have a tumor, get the MRI, get it. But usually tinnitus is on a subatomic level. It has more to do with cells and electrons and, heavy metals and bacteria and viruses and parasites, even though parasites are not subatomic, but those sorts of things which generally don't show up on an MRI simply because of the fact that they're so small that you can't see them on an MRI. You need like scanning, electron microscopy. You would need to have take a sample of the tissue, and of course you can't take a sample of a tissue of the cochlea because you'll just go deaf instantly. How are you going with my advice? Have you applied any of my advice? And do you know what caused it? Did you get a knock to the head? Did you take a medication? Anything like that? Let me know. Okay, these are all done. Okay, on to the books. Can you tell me about the supplements for tinnitus caused by middle ear infection? Well, there's no real supplements to really fix tinnitus, regardless of how it's caused, but I would say dietary change first, and then probably iodine, probably some liver for the copper. Get plenty of sun. It sounds like from your name, you might live in a country like Sri Lanka, Pakistan, or India. So go and get some sunlight, go and do some grounding. That's really it. Why does taking a nap give me spikes? You could be sleeping with your mouth open and breathing through your mouth instead of your nose. Your posture could be bad. You could be sleeping in a room rich with Wi-Fi. It could be one of those. Okay. Hey Liam, been doing your course, gym 4 times a week, more meat, fasting, grounding, cold showers, but nothing helping at the minute. Okay, cool. How long have you had tinnitus? What was your lifestyle before tinnitus like? And how long have you been doing the course for? Let me know. Let's figure it out. Do you have any advice for people with increased intracranial pressure, only diagnosable via a lumbar puncture? Doctors recommend them to avoid vitamin A. Yeah, vitamin A in liver. I'm not even sure what that is, but obviously I'm guessing it means that you have pressure inside of your skull. If you have like a swelling of the brain or something like that, like it's sort of inflammation or something. I mean, look, your brain is made up of skull plates, so your skull can actually change shape. You could go and get the balloon up the nose process and get maybe your skull shape changed. Maybe if you ate different foods, perhaps if you did have swelling in the brain, the pressure would decrease as the swelling went down. I'm not too sure about that one, to be honest with you. I've not really heard of that before. I'm sorry. I'm gonna sneeze. God, dusty room. Does the course buy the book? No, it's separate. So the course is $297, and then this is $57. So it's basically $356 for the whole thing. And then you get Silence for free, the digital update. They didn't say anything about surgery. They sent me some exercises to do at home, but then when I do them, I hear sound in my ear, so I got scared. They also spoke about Botox injections. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Botox. It's toxic as shit. I don't think they have like a really big specific plan for you. I think they're just throwing shit at you to see what'll work, until eventually they say, sorry, couldn't figure it out, have a nice life. Can tinnitus in one ear be caused by moldy apartment and antibiotics? Yeah, tinnitus in both ears can be caused by it. Hyperacusis can be caused by that. Hearing loss can be caused by that. Vertigo, Meniere's disease can be, vertigo can be caused by that. Why does my tinnitus spike when I lift heavy weights? It's probably a posture problem or a nervous system problem. You're probably also deficient in ADP instead of ATP. Stop going to the gym and start going for long walks. Get some movement. Stop the exercise, get some movement. Do an hour walk every day. Go back to the gym in 4 weeks and see if the problem persists. If it does, send me a message. It started after a gym session, so shall I still go to the gym and lift weights? No, don't do that. Don't do that. You had there we go. You had a big fall. You probably did damage to your nervous system. What I would probably do is I'd probably go to a chiropractor who's very gentle, and to functional patterns people. I don't know where you live. You said, mate, do you live in the UK or Australia? Go to a functional patterns practitioner and talk to them about it, as well as following slight bits of my advice, and see what can help. And I'm sorry about the fall. That's very sad. Which cause of T has the longest recovery time? Noise-induced tinnitus. Did a parasite cleanse and got a load of biofilm and other out. How often is a parasite cleanse recommended? 2 times a year, I would say. Braces came off. I'm without braces now, as they said I'm straight. It's good to know. I mean, I wouldn't care if you were gay either, but straight. So funny. I'm straight as much my body could allow. However, now I have straight teeth and tinnitus. I'm afraid they fucked up my jaw or something. MRI, okay. Yeah, these MRIs are killing me with these fucking doctors. It's just like, they don't even know what they're looking for. They're just like, maybe something will show up. Fucking idiots. Yeah, okay, so in the top of your jaw, under here, okay, you also have skull plates. It looks like a T. It's like this, okay? Look up James Nestor Breathe. There are some breathing exercises you can do to expand the size of the roof of your mouth. Perhaps if you do something like that, it could take a bit of pressure off. Maybe a nerve is being pinched. Who knows? Try my advice, do it safely, do it slowly, do it with your doctor's permission, give yourself time, eat well, don't drink alcohol, don't drink coffee, get more sunlight, read James Nestor's book, Breathe, and see if that gives you any sort of help. How long have you had tinnitus for? Do you think bad mitochondrial health is an important factor in many other conditions as well, such as autoimmune conditions and long COVID? I got to tell you, mitochondrial dysfunction is basically, it plays a role in everything. everything. Like, if a woman wants to get pregnant, if you're not sleeping properly, if your muscles aren't growing, if you're overweight, if you're anxious, if you have arthritis, bone density, it's got its teeth in everything. It plays a role in everything. It's not the only thing that matters when it comes to everything that can go wrong or right, but it's so crucial to have an understanding of, mitochondrial health. So yeah, my answer is yes. Sleeping with an open mouth is an issue. How do I control that? You can get a piece of tape and tape your mouth shut, but don't go crazy and make yourself look like you've been kidnapped. Just check out James Nestor and see what he has to say, and be careful. Don't kill yourself. Okay, so this is Dave, who was saying he's having no progress. Hi Liam, been doing the course for 6 months or so, got tinnitus from the Pfizer vaccine. Yeah, I gotta tell you, man, that stuff is really bad fucking news. I mean, I gotta tell you, there's stuff that I can't say on this live stream or on my Instagram, because otherwise I'll get my Instagram taken down. I mean, I've already been shadow banned to the moon, but I'd rather not get it taken down. But, I have a lot of people who come to me who got tinnitus from the vaccine, and it's fixable, but it's not easy, and it can take a lot of time. You're probably going to need something like the TRS mouth spray or Carboxy or something like that, because you're probably... The problem with that stuff, man, what's in those vaccines is that it's self-replicating too. It changes your genetics to tell your body to create more, I can't even say it because then I'll get fucking banned or something, but it's not good for you. It's very deadly, it's very dangerous. I kind of think it's supposed to be that way, but, it's not good stuff. Are your symptoms getting worse? And do you have any other symptoms too? But I have had plenty of people get silenced after taking it, so don't worry too much, but it's not going to be easy. I think we'll put the books aside for now. We'll just focus on the live stream. My tinnitus started after a failed root canal. Okay, so you pulled out a root canal, it failed. Night guards starting to help along with heavy metal detox. Also found out I have the MTHFR gene. Vitamin B levels need supplements. Maybe try eating liver instead of taking vitamin B. I mean, do what you want, but I'd try the liver. When they pulled out the root canal, was there a severe infection in your gum, in your jawbone, in the root of the tooth? Let me know. So what can I do? I'm worried in case I don't fix the jaw, I can't fix the T, but honestly, I've had TMJ for a long time. Cut out all foods that contain oxalate. Do that with your doctor's permission. Can tinnitus be, what does that say? VAUD by CF leak, please, because I had a fall. I'm not sure what the question means. Sorry, Rosina. Can tinnitus be, I don't know what that means. Loud? No. Sorry, can you type the question again for me? Oh, the neck. I mean, being 6'4" has its perks, but not when you're sitting at a table writing all day. Can it be muscular, as I have it in the left ear and strained left side of the neck that has not gone away in years? Yeah, it definitely can. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, I'm from Australia. Can I have a CFL leak? I'm not sure what that is. I'm not sure what that is. Sorry. You have to tell me. How much time will it take to completely heal tinnitus when it starts decreasing? Could take a year, could take 4 months, could take 3 weeks. It's different for every person. Glad I never took those vaccines. I knew something wasn't right with it. Yeah, that shit is fucked. I mean, for the people who took them, including all of my close family, distant family, my brother, my close friends, all the people who took them, I mean, my heart fucking goes out to you, but I don't know why anyone would take that shit, honestly. Love your work, and thanks again for me achieving a breakthrough with my own tinnitus. That's awesome. Love to hear it. Love it. Chicken liver is okay to have than meat liver? Yeah, it is. Good question, and it is. And I assume by meat you mean like cow, deer, bison. Sure. Midst braces, I suffered with extreme neck spasm and everything. Collider braces, neck pain, I developed tinnitus. So I have it now for 10 months, without braces now 6 months, and neck pain getting okay. What did they do to you? Jesus. Yeah. I would, again, I've said this like 5 times in this live stream already, but just because it's so important, I would see a functional patterns expert or start doing functional patterns at home. If you don't know what it is, just YouTube it, functional patterns, Naudi Aguilar. Just Google it, you're gonna go. Hi Liam, which earplugs are the best to avoid tinnitus from getting worse? Oh look, you can just go and get ones from 7-Eleven. As long as you block out some of the noise. If you go into a very loud area, you can just get whatever. Okay, a CSF leak is an escape of the fluid that surrounds the brain and spinal cord. Okay, cerebrospinal fluid, thank you. I mean, it doesn't. If that's what happened to you, it doesn't sound good when that was leaking. How long have you had tinnitus for, and how are you going with applying my stuff? Can tinnitus simply be linked to emotions and nothing of physical underlying? Yeah, it can, because when you're emotionally, let's say you're stressed or you're scared or you're traumatized, that's going to deplete magnesium significantly from your body, and magnesium and copper help regulate mitochondrial function, and we know where that goes. So yeah, it definitely can. Like I have people come to me who were sexually abused, or their partner died, or their child died, and they just got tinnitus straight away. So yeah, definitely. Give me 1 second. Blow my nose. Okay. Sorry about that. Can this course help poor eyesight? Yeah, it's actually helped people get rid of their glasses. I mean, the reason that I wear these now, and these are just 0.50, is because I look at the computer all day long and it just burns my eyes. So it can. You said maybe a nervous pinch, so can I help myself with that? Babe with the tinnitus after braces. Not sure what that means, but maybe then... Yeah, you can. If it's just pressure, you just take the pressure off by fixing your jaw. I'm taking whey protein because I do gymming and heavy workout. Does it affect my T? Yeah, I'm not a big fan of those things. Mostly they're full of crap. Okay. 8 months now, but I'm new here, just discovered you. Yeah, just, keep applying my advice slowly. How to increase copper, and what's a good magnesium supplement you recommend? You want to get copper, eat liver, beef liver, and a magnesium supplement, Magnesium Calm. I'm taking cod liver oil. Can that help? Eat liver instead. Just eat liver instead. It's just so much better. So much better for you. All right. Well, we've come to the end of the questions, basically. Please suggest some supplements for sinus allergies, also because it is creating ear fullness and pressure too. You don't have sinus allergies, you have mold. You need to watch my videos on mold. Inhalations, that's what you need to do. Yes, many other symptoms that are slowly getting better. 2 years now, biggest mistake of my life was getting the vaccine. But I only got it as I was going to hospital for surgery. Yeah, no, I get that. Yes. Some people it's horrible what happened to people. Really fucked up. Really, really sick. What is the mouth spray? TRS? I'll find it for you. I used to recommend it to people a lot, but it's so strong that I stopped. But some people I think need it, so. Okay, Um, okay, trs-detox.com. That's what it is. And I don't get any money for recommending this. I just think that it's really good. So how do I fix my jaw if I have pinched nerves after braces? I would do functional patterns on the jaw, on the neck, in the back of your neck, things like that. Muscle and fascia release is how I would imagine you would do it. I imagine. Would you ever do a live with someone on here so everyone can take even more inspiration? Yeah, I'll do it with you. I can see you've got your hand up. How do I accept you? There we go.
Hey, hey, thank you so much for accepting the request. I would never thought that, but amazing. God bless you.
You're from UK?
I'm from England, yeah, London.
Oh man, yeah. You probably know, but I was born there. I was born in London.
Oh wow.
Yeah, in Edgware. I think, yeah.
Edgware.
I was in London 5 months ago telling people that but I think that it used to be a nice area and now it's not so good, right? Like it's not.
So Edgware, as in northwest London, Edgware.
I couldn't tell you. I'm not too sure. There are 2 Edgwares, but maybe I'll have to ask my mum. But yeah, let's say northwest.
Yeah. I'm from Edgware as well, basically. So like near like Harrow area.
What's it called? Harrow area.
Yeah, Harrow. It's within Harrow. Harrow is like, and Edgware is the town.
I'll have to ask. Maybe I'll ask where I'm from, and I'll let you know. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, what's going on?
Yeah, man. So I've developed it about 4 months ago now, so still fairly new. I remember the exact day. It was 13th of March. I woke up and I was like, "What the fuck is this?" Yeah. And the only thing different in my life prior to that day, and I would say it's quite considerable different. It's in circumstances, was insomnia. And I developed insomnia after I got COVID in September. Mm-hmm. But it wasn't just COVID in September, which was the trigger. There was a few emotional triggers, like I changed my job, which I wasn't too happy about. Yeah. I felt I wasn't treated right, and I just got into this cycle of like anger and guilt and frustration, and then the insomnia with the emotions that brought up with me. I was just constantly frustrated because I'm a perfectionist. Like I was like, why can't I sleep? Why am I not sleeping? I'm checking that if I'm not asleep. And basically I got into such a cycle that I was just like, I just want to kill myself. Like I couldn't stop thinking about suicide. I couldn't stop thinking about, like I got a family, I got two young boys, I got my wife, and I just thought, how has my life become like this? Like, you know, and maybe there was a very strong emotional piece playing at the base of it all. But another part was I got a prostate infection at that same time, which was very, very random. Right. I don't know. There was just some few random things going on. But funny enough,
a whole bunch of different things just coming at you at the time.
Yeah. But then funny enough, that week or 2 weeks before I got tinnitus, right, I was actually sleeping a lot better. I felt a lot calmer. It's like I was coming out of a dip, like a psychological dip. The only other thing different that day was my wife got COVID 2 days before. Mm-hmm. I woke up and I was like, what is this ringing? Yeah, Sham, look. My son's showing me his toothbrush. Sham, say hello.
Hey, buddy.
It's Father's Day, so he's like, Dad, like, let's do this. Anyway, what's it called? Yeah, so I woke up and I got this noise, and the only other thing different was my wife had COVID that day. So I don't know if I got her symptoms, but I didn't get any other symptoms apart from the tinnitus, right? I don't know if it was the COVID, which my wife got, or that night specifically, I randomly chose to take amitriptyline, 10 milligrams. I was taking it before for like 4 or 5 months just to help my prostate infection. So I was just like, I really want to sleep tonight because tomorrow I got work. So let me just take amitriptyline tonight. And I woke up and was just like, what the fuck is this? And ever since then, I've had the noise. I've done MRI scans. I've been to ENT. I've been to, you name it, right? And they all just say you've got functional neurological disorder. You're basically like paying hyper alert to what's going on in your head. This is all because of anxiety, your stress, depression. And now I've got noise generators. You know those noise generators?
Yeah, I know. You put them in your ear and they play the pitch. Like you went and got an audiogram and they matched the pitch. Yeah. How much did those set you back?
They cost £2,000, but I could put it on finance over like 1 year. So I mean, I've got a 30-day trial. I've only been wearing them for 4 days. The Harley Street Hearing had advised us. So as far as I'm concerned, the tinnitus specialist in London is Harley Street Hearing. So as far as like, apart from yourself, I've got that other voice. So, and I even told him about you, and I was like, look, there's this guy online, Liam Sol's Tinnitus. He talks about fasting, and I've been researching the underlying things around why you say what you say around fasting and ketones and all this stuff, and it definitely makes sense. And when I challenged the guys, the doctors, everyone was like, forget everything else you hear, just put the generators on, and you'll be okay. So here's me stuck in the middle. I feel like there's good advice from the left and the right, and that's what causes even more stress in my body. And I'm like, what the fuck what do I do?
That's a very good situation. And those doctors are always they're going to say that. They're like, no, I went to medical school, we're a reputable thing, we're booked up with this, that, and they get old. And I've got it written down in the book as well. They get old. You went to years, you paid £250,000, and it's your job to make sure, because the number one problem ENTs and stuff often have, those jobs, is the patient actually doing what they say. A big part of what they learn is actually getting compliant. And so people don't know that, but doctors, including doctors, spend more time learning about compliance than they do about nutrition. So it's like, how would you know more? So look, I'm not saying ignore it. It's good you got time, but I would say just because it's not like my advice is going to stop theirs from or vice versa. There's no harm in both, because you need something, you have to get done something, and the harm of improving your sleep and all this stuff. So I would say, from the sounds of it, with the prostate infection, the stress and the emotional stress, and you've got two boys to raise. I'm one of I've got a twin brother. My parents help, so I can relate to that. And then also the amitriptyline is very highly ototoxic drug. I know what it is with amitriptyline. But let me ask you this: you started applying any of my advice or free advice or anything like that? And if you have, how's that? Or are you just learning about like what in terms of my?
So all I've really been doing is learning about the principles behind what you're saying, and only I would say the last 2-3 days I've just started to like be more intentional with it. And when I say that, I mean high intensity exercise. I mean I've always been someone who's been like done super high intensity exercise at a really high level. But because of insomnia, because of the way I felt, my perceptions, I just almost stopped exercising totally, just started walking only. And then just a few long runs. But now I'm like, you know what? I don't care how tired I am, I'm going to do high intensity again. So let's just say very early days, but the things I'm going to take forward as an early step, which is the stuff which I can feel I can easily do, is high intensity exercise. Maybe just open my morning breakfast later than I currently do, because I intermittent fast anyway. So I'll probably push it by a few more hours, which means I'm fasting for around 15 hours, and then I'll open. And the third thing is, you talk about eggs a lot, and like, I'm vegetarian, don't eat meat. I eat eggs, but my wife doesn't like, she doesn't eat eggs, or the family. But one thing, I had a conversation with her. I said, look, I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to just start having more eggs from home, and I'll open up my fast with eggs or something like this. So those were the three things. I mean, any feedback on that, or anything you think I should add to that or take away?
I'll just tell you, right? I think you should. And I know you. I know. Look, I've had plenty of vegans and vegetarians who've gotten better. You know, with eating. I've had vegans get silent. And so, if you're really not going to be safe, okay, that's fine. That's totally fine. But you're gonna have to make up for that, and one of those areas would usually be sunlight. But seeing as you live in the kingdom, you know, it's pretty crappy.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of sunbeds, but you could do things, you know, like 3 to 4 hours, things like that. And just for the rest of the stuff, like I know you drink alcohol, you know, you can try cutting it. What is your usual sort of diet? We're talking green smoothies, spinach and legumes, and like lots of bread, olives, and you know, fruits. What's the kind of usual daily eating you do?
So that's a good question, and I probably have like a straightforward answer, because I've been on a massive weight loss journey most of my life, so I'm quite regimented with food. So most mornings well, not mornings, but when I open my breakfast about 11:30 a.m., I'll have Greek yogurt and grapes, 200 grams of grapes, 200 grams of Greek yogurt.
Yeah.
Couple of hours after, I'll have a frozen protein shake, so loads of frozen berries in there. Coconut milk and vegan protein powder.
Yeah.
Okay, but while you're smiling, you're thinking like,
no, I'm not rude or but okay, keep going. So what else do you eat?
okay, and then I'll have like a salad afterwards, and then for dinner I'll have like a pita bread with like red kidney beans, like some sort of Mexican style makeup of food, sweet potatoes, and then that's really about it. And then I've got a sweet tooth, so in and around I'll have like, I don't know, like biscuits, chocolate, but not like crazy amounts, but just enough to like satisfy something sweet.
Yeah.
That's generally a typical day, I would say, for me. And loads of water, like 3-4 liters of water.
Okay, perfect. Lots. Water or
water.
Water. You don't have filter or anything like that? Brita filter.
I don't have I have a Brita filter, but I started using it, but I don't know, I didn't really see anything it was doing. It just was just like, it just felt like I was just effort for no reason. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can tell you when you're, I mean, you know, it's your life and you what you want to do, but when you're eating all those things, like the dairy, I don't really. So do you eat basically the products you eat with dairy or just dairy?
So I have dairy, but I don't have fish. I don't have fish at all.
Yeah.
And I have eggs very, very rarely, but I'll start having them.
Okay. What in that case, what I would suggest doing is increasing your eggs. Like, so if you're comfortable doing that, obviously I'm sure I can't get you to go steak and eat that. That's fine. That's fine. But increase your intake of eggs. If you're drinking alcohol or coffee, get rid of that. Obviously, sunlight's going to be hard to do. You know, you can do things like you can get blue blockers, do meditation, maybe you do already. You can do muscle release. With the prostate, did they give you any reason? Was it a suggestion or these things?
Mate, honestly, that was the first thing. That was the first symptom that I got about 1 week into my insomnia episode, which was 1 week before when I got COVID. So I got COVID. Week later, I got the sleep. Like I could just found myself couldn't sleep at night. And then a week later, I was just like constantly urinating, constantly. I was just like, what the hell is this? I couldn't leave my house. And I did all of the tests. It took 2 months to do all of the tests. They were like, you're just worried, you're just stressed. And then eventually...
What tests did they give you, like a glucose loading test or a blood sugar test, anything like that?
So in terms of tests, it started off with a normal blood test, then a fasted blood test. Both came out okay, normal levels of glucose.
Yeah.
Then he went on to a urine sample test. Every urine sample I gave came out clean.
Yeah.
Then they did a urine flow test. That was fine.
Yeah.
Then they did a urine diary, and they were like, okay, we can see you're urinating like very frequently and big quantities. And then the last test was the dreaded test of them all, where you get to lie on a bed and turn around and someone violates you. Yeah.
We've all had that. We've all had that done.
Yeah. But even then, he was like, I'm going to squeeze your prostate. Hopefully, whatever infection is in there, I've released it. So now go and do a urine test, and that should show it. Hey presto, nothing. And he was like, okay, I would just say, as an expert in a surgeon or whatever, I would highly suspect you've got urine infection, because all of your symptoms are pointing towards this, because you're going so frequently. So I was on a 6 weeks course of antibiotics.
Ooh. Okay.
And with those 6 weeks, I was also doing 6 weeks of amitriptyline every night, 10 milligrams for 6 weeks, plus another 2, so 8 weeks.
Yeah, and this was before. This is okay. I got to tell you that what antibiotic, amoxicillin or gentamicin or quinolone?
Fuck. Totally forgot. I was on one and moved me on another one.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of times when people have a constant urination or painful urination, they have urinary incontinence where they need to be, but they can't go. A lot of the time, amitriptyline can actually contribute to that, by the way, but also parasites. Lots of people can get parasites in the bladder. So, it could be worth a parasite cleanse just to rule a couple of things out. So, you can try, I don't know if you've seen me talk about this Rogers, this has like herbs. You can take the herbs and lots of parasites. And I'll tell you something very interesting. I won't say her name because she made a video, but there's a lady from the UK as well. I'll put you. There's a lady in the UK. People are saying my audio is broken. Yes. Can you guys hear me now? So there's a lady in the UK, and she was following my advice, she's getting good results, doing well, and she got her tinnitus 2 out of 10. I've been having it for like 5 years, and in 6 months, 2 out of 10. And I think there's an echo. Can you turn my volume down on your phone? Just turn it down on your phone. Yeah, there we go. Okay, for everyone listening, is that better? Let's see if that works better. So she followed my advice. She got stuck at a 2 out of 10 for 4 months after the 6 months and couldn't get anywhere. It's like, what are we going to do? And she started thinking, maybe I can't get silence, like the usual sort of thing. And I said to her, no, there's always something missing. I said, go and do a parasite cleanse. And she took the parasite cleanse and she urinated out this massive, thick worm thing, urinated it out. The next day, complete silence, completely got rid of her tinnitus. Amazing stuff. And so there's always, like, I get really tired of ENT saying it's an anxiety thing, it's a stress thing. It's like, no, it's fucking not. Like, yes, it contributes to it. Of course it contributes to it. The amount of people who've come to me and said, I got stressed out and then I got tinnitus. I go, great, write that down. That's one of the causes. Now let's go and find the rest, and we can handle all of those things together. So I would suggest for you, speak to your doctor first and everything, but I would suggest going and getting, and I'll send you a link, and go and get her parasite cleanse, and maybe you'll urinate something out or you'll defecate something out. Because, like that guy who you had all the tests and everything, those tests don't pick up on parasites, molds, and usually not. They might do heavy metals, but they don't do molds or parasites, I don't think. So I would say for you, it might be worth doing that. So I'd probably, do the earpieces help? How loud is your tinnitus, you say? Like how much do you hear in your life?
It's probably a 4 out of 10, I would say.
Yeah. When you go for a walk outside, do you hear it?
I hear it when the wind picks up and the wind interferes with my ears. Then I hear it.
I see. You got a bit of hyperacute.
Yeah, or I hear it if I really think about it and try to listen to it. Um,
or
I, I
this, you put it in your ear.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. If I put my I bought ear blockers, or ear whatever it's called. If I put those in, it's almost like, you know, when a life support machine, when it goes flat line, that bleep line.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah,
that. And I'm like, and that's the connection I sometimes make, which is not a great connection to have, the noise and the emotion. But anyway, um, it's okay. The sound generators are useful, I would say. It's only been 3 days, so it's too early to say anything. But the biggest help has been a 13 kilohertz sound, which is basically a masker, which basically, as soon as it goes on, it's like silence.
yeah. And
I can,
that's actually the masker.
no. The contraption I put in my ear is just like it plays a different sound, and I can hear there's tinnitus with it. So there's tinnitus and the sound playing together,
Yeah,
which is what the audiologist says is needed to blend the sounds together so that somehow it goes deeper. Anyway, I'm just following what they're saying. I have no idea, right?
yeah, yeah.
Blend the together. But the thing I was doing before that for 3 months, right, was I would allow myself to hear the tinnitus until 5, 6 p.m. And when it came to the evening, because I know I wanted to have like a rest of it, like at least some level of good day in the evening with my wife, I would put this sound on Spotify or YouTube. There's an ENT guy who's found and mixed the sound specifically, and it's 13 kilohertz tinnitus sound. And basically, as soon as I play it on, even at such a low volume, like I feel like there's absolute silence in my.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I can't walk away from my mobile phone. It's like if I go 5 meters from my phone, then it all comes back again. So I have to stay with
can't
it.
live, and you can't live with like your head in for the whole of your life, and then you'll be
Yeah.
fine. You can't do that. That's good. That helps though. That's fantastic. That's really, really good.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Parasites.
Yeah.
You think parasites is
yeah? Let's just go with that. Let's try that out. See how it goes. Because it's not a necessarily risky thing to do. It's not invasive. It's not something that's irreversible like surgery, and it's pretty inexpensive too. So it's safe and it's inexpensive. So I would give that a go because it sounds like you might have like a parasite problem with urination, prostate, and like. I think you heard if you joined us at the beginning of this live stream. I think maybe turn your volume. If you turn my voice down a little bit because people are getting a bit of feedback. Okay, for everybody watching, let me know if it's okay. So yeah, I was saying the people in the beginning of the live stream were saying, you know, I get a spike when I sleep, or why can't I sleep? And a lot of the time, it is actually parasites, because parasites get more active when they get active during a full moon and when you sleep. So it could be something like that. Like maybe you just ate a food, or, you know, you touched something in public and touched your mouth as people do. You know, it could be one of those things. So I would say give this a go, and make sure you get when you get it from her. Make sure you get. Okay, what you get. Yeah. So. This is basically it. It's called Parafy. It's just like this, and you just squirt it into water and drink it in the morning. This one kind of works with it too. And then this is a wine, because if you do have parasites and you start, I think you turn me down. Maybe turn me down a little bit on your phone because it keeps, because other people can't hear it. But with this one, what this does is if you have parasites and you start attacking them, they're going to release an endotoxin into your bloodstream, and it's going to give you a huge spike, and it's going to really fuck you up for a couple of days. This will stop that. So that's just my suggestion. Take it slow, you know, watch my videos, follow some of the other stuff too. And yeah, man, I would try a parasite cleanse and see how it goes. That's what I would do.
Thank you so much. I will do, man. And thank you for adding me onto this. I never expected it. I was like, oh, let's see what happens. But you did it. So well, God bless you, and thank you so much.
You asked in such a polite, and usually, like, you know, usually when people, you know, ask us something, they go, hey, what's this? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's this. But you're like, hey, I was wondering, you know, so very polite. I'm like, awesome. Manners will get people a long way, you know, so thank you, man. Let me know how it goes. If you have any questions, just send me a direct message. I'll try and help you out.
Sure. Thank you so much, Liam. God bless you again. Take care of yourself, and everyone else have a nice day, and good luck to everyone out there.
Bye.
Like, the one thing that I hold on to in difficult times is knowing this can go, this can pass. Even if it's 0.01% belief some days, and sometimes it's 50%, I'm like, hold on to that, and let's see, man. So yeah, thank you.
Exactly. Yeah, it can go. Cool, man. All right.
Take care. Bye.
Have a lovely day. Bye.
Angie, bye.
Okay. Well, that was really nice. Now I have to go do some more work and catch up on this for about 6 more hours. I'll save this. You can watch it later on Instagram. And yeah, have a lovely day, guys. Bye.